Alright, so you guys have been asking me to do the 2x2 bunker, so today I'm going to show you. So let's start with a simple 2x2. We know this, we all love this. And usually you have a loot room here. And a PC here. You can fill this out however you want. What I like to do is honeycomb it early. Get a good little jump up. Have a little loop around. Since I'm gonna have it honeycomb to the top, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put half walls all around. Not here. And I will only fill up the ones which I don't need. So like these two. Because right now, I'm guessing early game, you won't get a ladder hatch or a ladder that easily. So you can leave this out for now. You'll be able to jump around. I also like to have a loop, so you have to walk around to get in. This will be the jump up further. That means we can honeycomb up this side. Again, the reason I left it, so that you can walk around easily. Let's fill this out. Right over here. So your starter would basically be this. You can expand it upwards however much you want. I don't like to go further than 3 floors, but that's completely up to you. I didn't mean to close it off, that'll be the ladder hatch. Alright, second part. This would be the bunker walls. The way you do the bunker is kind of important. The way you do the bunker walls, you do one triangle, one square, remove this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you put a triangle. Remove the 8 squares, don't need them anymore. You come back with triangles. When you add this, you'll be able to place a square. Remove everything else, don't need it. Put 2 triangles just to make sure. Early game, you basically want to put at least 1 square before you can do the externals. I'll do the complete footprint in a second. Alright, you do this on the other side. Alright, so now that's both done, let's do the bunker walls first. You want to put 2 walls on each side and 2 frames. Well, before you put the frames, you can put the half walls for the box storage. Remember frames. Make sure you rotate the frames. You need to do it once so that, as you can see, the sheet metal wall covers it. Same on the other side. Just a second. Rotate, rotate. It basically puts the hard side as the same side as the wall, the hard side of the frame, even though that doesn't matter. But yeah. Next thing you want to do, no, at least remove that. Fill up the roof and put a wall. So when you're placing this wall, it's gonna be twig first. What you're gonna have to do is, as you can see right now, there are 2 options to place a frame. One on the inner triangle and one on the wall itself. You want to have the frame on the triangle. So to do that, this needs to be stone. If you have any other grade, it doesn't work. Stone, and then you can place it. Then you can upgrade this however much you want. For some reason, if somebody is raiding you and they break the frame and not the wall, you will have to soft side this foundation to get rid of the wall, given that it's not stone. If it's stone, then you can just place it. If it's the other way around, then you can replace the wall. Doesn't matter. Same goes on the other side. Alright, so just to test the bunker out, place a twig frame. I mean, a twig roof. There you go, the bunker works. Alright, we can close it off for now. Okay, to complete the shell, we finish up the multi-TC part on this side. Place 1 square, including that square. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and not 8. Remember, we did 8 for the bunkers, not for this one. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come back with triangles. Don't need anything else. Triangle. And a square. This will complete our shell. Now, to do it on the other side. Done. That's our shell completed. I usually have 4 entrances, but it's completely up to you. You will have 1 entrance over here. Here. 1 here. And 1 here. I like to have elevators, like quick ways up and down, but it's completely up to you if you want them or not. Basically have the elevator on one side going up, close out the floor on the other one. For this example, I'll have 2 windows to watch outside, 1 way in, and the way which is now in, on the other side of the elevator. It's completely up to you. You can close off one of the elevators and still have the elevator, just it'll be a way up from inside. So like, I could close this off. I'll have these windows. Just be a quick way in and up and down from the inside, but it's completely up to you, preference-wise. I like to have 4 ways in. Alright, closing the shell. These will be our window peaks, our ramp peaks. Have half wall, a window, and another half wall on top of it. Same goes for this one. Depending where you want it to peak, you can have a peak over there as well. Half wall, window, and half wall. And it's kind of tricky. I'll do it how I do it. So this is when I'm building it for myself on a server. Stand up here, got a roof, and you should be able to place it. Just a sec. There we go. This is how I would do the roofs myself. And obviously these are just outside walls, can be closed off. As you can see, it will still let you place it. It just doesn't show because there's no wall connecting to this wall. I'll just separate these. And you can upgrade this triangle. Same goes for that one. I'll just do it quickly. Alright, so these will be our compound peaks. Early game ones. Close this off. I like to have windows. Look outside. Alright, let me just... I'll be back in a second. At this stage... Okay, so at this stage, I'll usually fill in the honeycomb. You won't be able to place a wall where the bunker is, just because of the frame. Which is why I would like just leave it open. You can put a turret in there. Same goes for this one. I don't like to have a loot room on top of this triangle over here, so I fill in the honeycomb, since this can be soft-sided into. So I'll just fill this in as well. You can if you're running out of space, but I personally don't prefer it. Once you have your ladder or ladder hatches, you can close this off. You can have furnaces, any vending machines, or even lockers, depending on how early game you are. Way up. Again, I would just honeycomb this off. I like to have a loop around when you're walking in. And this can be a loot room. You can put windows or frames, depending on what you want. I usually just prefer frames. Close everything off. This will be the way in, into second, third floor. At this stage, I would wash the externals, because it's secure enough, it's honeycombed all sides. And usually playing on a competitive server, your biggest worry is getting TC griefed. If you get TC griefed, these walls will decay, since you won't be able to connect them to TCs. The easiest way to do them, keeping in mind you have to do external, the white gaps. you're gonna do the external TCs in a manner so you can connect the external TC, do the wide gap and the base. So 1, 2, 3. Remove the 3 triangles, 3 squares. Go back with triangles. Remove the triangles. 1 square. Since this is the bunker side, this will be a bigger footprint wide gap. Sorry. So it's basically like a tusk, an elephant tusk. To connect this back to the base, you want to put 1 square. You can make a twig for now. Just allow you to place the frame in a wall plus 1.5 height, which allows you to place these frames. Gives it extra stability. Remember, when you're doing wide gaps and you're connecting it back, make sure you have at least 2 frames up, since you won't be able to place them afterwards. Now you can place this square frame. There you go. To make the external TC, place a half moon and a square and a triangle. Remove the square and the half moons. Square. There you go. It's not connected right now. You want to make this a third pod. And now it's connected. To connect it back to the main base, put 2 more frames, a half wall. 2 more frames just to give it stability. You can rotate this around. Put a square frame. And as you can see, now the square frame can be connected back to the main base. There you go. Now the main base, the multi-TC side base, the wide gaps, and the external is now connected. I generally like to have its own proper foundation. You can have frames itself, but there you go. Alright, so now this one's done. I'll quickly do the other one. Alright, now that the wide gaps on the multi-TC side external is done on the bunker sides, now we do it to the other ones. This wide gap footprint is a bit smaller, but the technique is still the same. 3 squares, a triangle. Come back with triangles. Remove the extra triangles. A square. So the footprint would be 2 triangles, a square. And instead of going over there, we just close it off here. 2 triangles and a square, and just close it off. Again, to make sure that the wide gaps are connected afterwards, put the 2 frames, at least 2 floors out first. Triangles, remove the triangles, square. Now these 2 are not connected. Make a third pod. Now they're connected. 2 more frames just to give stability to the ladder frames. Put it from up there. Again, go back to base. Since this will be the jump up, place a twig triangle for now. Again, we can give it more stability. Attaching a triangle, square, triangle, a square. Attach a triangle frame, and now this can be connected. There we go. Quickly do the TC. Alright, I'll quickly do the other side. Alright, now that all the externals are done, you can safely keep working on the inside base. On 3rd floor, I generally like to have all these loot rooms, just because at this point you're basically running out of space. Triangles, when you're coming in from this side, so I will have a wall here, and I will have a loot room here, another loop around, and I'll have a single triangle here. This will be your lockers or whatever, and this will be a loot room. Same goes for here. This would be a loot room. And these can be all lockers, or you can have a tier 3 up here. It's completely up to you. I like to have a ladder hatch up, just because, well, it saves time and it gives you more loot space. And you can close this off. So this inner peaks floor is completely preferable. I like to have these honeycomb triangles at bedrooms. So you'll have 1 entrance, 2 entrance, 3 entrances. Or actually, make this a window. Entrance, entrance, and an entrance. You have 3 entrances into inner peaks, and now you can close off your complete base. You can put the windows and the doors, and your base is secure. If you want to make these bedrooms, I will have another entrance here, another entrance here, another entrance here. You can put a window or wall, up to you. Completely preferable. When you spawn in, you can see what's going on outside. Alright. Now let's bring up the shell so we can keep making our inner peaks. Alright, still a half floor down. Put another half walls around. Alright, before starting on inner peaks, I would recommend one thing. You kind of want to have a little bit more stability and a honeycomb. So you want to have these frames on all the windows. I'll show you why. I'll do it on one. And you can put walls on these. This will make it a honeycomb and whatever you want to peek. And you can close it off there. There's nothing else going on here. You can peek, but still serves as a honeycomb. I'll quickly do it on all sides. Okay, now that's done. Just for extra measure, I like to have the triangles on the longer side, the bigger side of the footprint honeycombed as well. So I'll quickly just do that. Like this. I'll quickly do it on all sides. Alright, I'll bring up the elevators as well, so we know how to use them. I'll show you on each side of the way to do it. Since this is uneven, you kind of want to have this closed off. See, I know you have to walk a little bit extra, but you can jump up easily. And you can make the next jump up there. This to provide stability. Frames. You can make that a locker room, or quick locker access, or quick depot drop boxes. And frames, just to provide stability. And to put doors on them. Alright, and this would be your way in. You can close off the elevator itself. And this would be your way up further. Alright, now that the elevators are done, you can start working on inner peaks. I prefer these to be bedrooms, and the one with the triangle, you can make that double bedroom, but if you have selfish teammates which only want the bedrooms to themselves, you can close it off. I'll make this a double bedroom for myself. 2 beds and a locker in each, and this would be a single bedroom. 1 bed, 1 locker. I'll do this on all sides. Alright, now that your bedroom's done, you can start the inner peaks. The ones where there's only 1 square placeable left, attach it to the inside wall, so you'll have a multi-CC peak. Attach. You won't be able to attach triangles here since it's not stable enough. Before you do that, same thing on the other side. Where there's 2 walls across 1 wall, you attach triangle to the middle, and triangles outside. This will give you multi-TC peaks everywhere. Attach 2 triangles each to give them more stability. Same on the other side. Now for this one, as you can see, you can attach a triangle. So attach it to the inside of the square. So over there. Now you'll be able to attach a triangle towards the inwards if you want to give it more stability. But I like to have it on the outside. Gives you a better multi-TC peak over here as well. Same goes for this one. Square inside, triangle, square, and on the outside. So to cover these, I like to have triangles in a circular way. So I always attach it to the right. It just keeps it symmetrical, nothing else. You can attach it left, right, however you feel like. And this would go to the outside. There you go. Now your inner peaks are done. You cannot get, it's really hard to get, well, I mean you can, but it's really hard to get rocketed through these peaks. And you get really nasty peaks back down. Alright, moving on. Your only ways up from this floor is through the elevators. 2 elevators will lead you into the open core, and the other 2 will lead you above the open core. We can close this off now. Just follow the footprint, it'll be fine. get to that layer. These triangles can be turret pods, or it's up to you. I like to have turrets in these triangles and in the elevator, so when somebody's pushing down or up, you get shot by a turret no matter what. Moving on, the open core. I like to have the square elevators go straight up, so no way into open core. And I'll have the triangle elevators move into the open core. Way in. The way you do the open core is completely up to you, but I like to have at least some kind of protection while I'm doing it, so close it off. I like to have it honeycombed on the sides, because this right now is just one wall to open core. So what you want to do is just close it off. You're not going to need it anyways. You can if you really want and you're running out of loot space, but I don't like it. You see how they can see through this? To prevent this, just rotate this around. If two hard sides meet, it covers it up. Same goes for below. You can rotate all these walls around. Didn't mean to make it armored. I won't be able to rotate it now since it's been time since I placed it. But yeah, principle follows. You rotate it around and you can't see through it. I won't be rotating any more walls from now on. I just want to show it to you. Fill up this honeycomb. Don't need this. Alright. You can close off the elevator as well. Sorry. Since that would be the way out, you won't be able to... I mean, you can, it just makes a scuff. This way you'll be able to walk through instead of crouch through. Alright. To do open core, it's completely preference based. I like to have it... I don't like to have half, like 3-floor loot rooms, since I don't feel like we're gonna need that much loot space anyways. So, those are the triangles. Same goes over here. Those are the triangles. Walls. And this would be a loot room. So this one. Wall. Alright, before we do open core, I just wanted to mention one thing. These triangles should be attached to the outside, and even the square. This is just so it'll allow you to place boxes easier, and gives you more stability. Nothing else. Doesn't matter if you have a hole here. They won't be able to access anything through this. Put the walls around. Sorry. There's this wall around. Now you can have... Actually, you can do it like this. First square. First square. Same goes for the other one. There you go. Now you have your loot room space. Put a frame there. Close it off. These will be 4 boxes each. What I like to do is place them further back, as far back as I can, because I'll have a turret in front of the boxes over here. So when the raid is below the door, they will have to worry about the turret as well before they can start looting. Same goes for the other one. Alright. To do these kind of loot rooms, I like to have a way in and a way up. And just to make it more formal, I'll just attach this triangle outside. Same goes with this one. It'll just help me do the walls for later easily. Close this off, and then this. We can have another loot room here. Another loot room here. This. This. Another loot room here. And another loot room here. since the circle is around since the circle is around the middle, like you can tell which way the circle is now. So I will have 2 windows in the middle just to make it a loop around. And you can have your vending machines, your tier 3 attached to these windows, whatever you feel like. I usually have 2 vending machines and a tier 3. So I'll have a tier 3 in the middle. A bit to the left since it sticks to the right. 2 vending machines. So it's easily, you can grab whatever you need to craft. You can have a repair bench on the other side, a research bench if you need to research something. Way in would be something like so basically you kind of want another loot room because, well, you're gonna need the loot space. Okay. Loot room. Same goes for the other one. And the way in will be here. And you can have you can honeycomb this, or you can make this a bedroom. It's completely up to you. I don't mind doing anything else. Way up will be somewhere over here. There we go. This is again completely preference based. If you want to do it something differently, you can. This will still be working as an elevator, so there'll be a way up here as well. Alright, let me quickly do this on the other side. Okay, now that we close the roof, excluding the ways up from an open core and the elevators, you can start working on the open core window peaks itself. I like to have 2 ramp elevators, ramp turrets, which are like you can't shoot through or rocket through. I like to have windows peeking around. And I don't usually like to peek standing. I like to be elevated, so I'm peeking only half of it. Like, I'll show you. It's another half wall. So I want to be peeking through here. So basically what we're doing is we're adding a buffer floor. Close it off. You won't be able to place a wall here, but doesn't matter. You'll be able to place the walls around. Before you place the ramp, you can place the wall. You won't be able to... it doesn't let you place the wall after you place the ramp for some reason, and I don't know why. Yeah. Close everything else off. To be able to place a half wall here, you kind of want frames. These 2 over there, 2 over there, and well, to provide stability to the roof, you want frames up in here as well. To close the roof. Now to close these ramps off, you want to be able to place half wall. Turn off the half wall. There you go. It's stable enough to stay there. Again, half wall. Also, one mistake I've made before, and you never want the hard side looking into the open core. You always want it outside, because I have been offline rated before, and the soft side of the window to get into open core. So you definitely don't want to be giving them the opportunity to do that. Like this. Alright, the way's up. At least that is a way up, so you can close this off. Close this off. Close this off, and close this off. Okay, so these would be bedrooms, and I can show you how. Like this. So you kind of have a drop down that you can say. 2 frames protecting them. Triangle. Square. Triangle, and you can close it with a half wall. So these are 2 bedrooms that you can use. Now, triangle elevator, since they run into open core, I kind of don't like. Well, it's completely preference based, but I don't like having it go in here as well, since there's already a way up from the inside. So I'm gonna close this off completely. Again, bedrooms. This is the elevator. This would be a way in, and since we have made the turret ramp peaks, the turret would go here, which would mean when you're coming up from here, you go in, go around, and then you go back up. That means for now you can just close all the sides around. We'll deal with the turret layer. Again, this elevator is not coming in, so you can close it off. There you go. Oh, sorry. You need a way in, so at least this bedroom will be a small one. Alright, now when you're going up, just for your stability, put a wall here, and you want to put a wall here. Now these again would be bedrooms. You have 2 bedrooms each. You can put a box in there if you want. I don't really like it, I'll just close it off. Alright, so the turret would go in here. And when you're coming into the elevator, coming up, walk up, you walk in front of the turret, and then you go up from here. So another loop around, basically. Quickly show you what I mean. Just to make it symmetrical, I'll have a half floor there. You can actually just close it off as well. And frame up there for stability. Same goes on the other side. I think bedrooms on levels where you can peek the open core from are really important, just because, well, allows you to peek easily. You can make this a way up. You can make this jump up, straight jump up as well like this, or I like to have it loop around. It's up to you. I don't really mind, to be honest, either way. You can close this off, sorry. So when you're coming up, you just loop it around. Gives you a little bit more extra doors to put on that you can't put on actually. There you go. You can make this a bedroom as well. Remove this. Can't. There you go. Same goes for the other one. You can add a half floor. This will serve as honeycomb as well. It's not stable enough, but it will be. Again, a pancake layer. And also if you're getting top down, it's just extra honeycomb. So raiders don't just get into everything immediately. Just to provide stability to the roof, just add a couple of frames. And you can add turrets on these frames as well. Side note. So if you're running out of turret space, just add them on the frames. Alright, let's close this off. This would be the way up. Close this off. This is the way up again. Close this off. Alright. And we close this off. Okay, moving on. Triangle elevator. Kinda just want the way into shooting floor now. So we kinda just putting another half floor. Since the shooting floor is above this one now. Sorry. This is my first ever build with you, so bear with me. Just the way up. Full tutorial video, must have. There we go. Now I can close this off. Alright, now the open core is closed, you can have doors wherever you need them. Again, this is just, you can close this off. You can have shotgun traps in here, just in case somebody tries to get into your bedroom. Or you can have turrets, it's completely up to you. Again, don't need this, you can have turrets. Nasty surprise when you leave the doors open. Close the outside off as well, with the half walls, just to make everything the same level. From here, you want, I have 8 entrances into shooting floor. On the bigger side, you want two frames here. On the small one, you want 2 frames here. And you can close the rest off. Before we start getting up into the shooting floor, let's work on the defense pod. This serves as honeycomb as well. So from any 2 sides, just put 2 doors in. This will be a way into your defense pod. Windows and 2 frames for stability. You can add 4 frames, but you don't really need more than 2. So, elevator up. Close this off. Alright, we can close out the shooting floor at least for now. Add a pair of frames for stability. I kind of like having only 4 ways out into the shooting floor from like the inside area-ish, like a ring. Just splits the shooting floor into 2 parts. So if the raiders have some part of it, you at least have some part left to be able to take back. Actually, I just made a mistake. You can have, I like to have windows instead of walls here, so you can look what's going around outside. Like this. Add a pair of frames just for stability. Nothing much. Honestly, you can just spam frames at this point. Wherever you find stability is lacking, just spam frames. Fixes it. These will be your 4 ways onto roof for now. You'll have ways onto roof from shooting floor as well. Actually, just make these windows. Same goes for this one. I'll quickly do the other 2. Alright, your inner part of your roof is complete. Now, at this point, you can start working on your shooting floor. Just make sure you have everything done. Your beds will be inside here, inside this ring. You can spam lockers outside. You can spam turrets outside. But now, let's start working on the shooting floor. So, what I like to do is just have 2 frames. At least match the level with the frames on that one. So at least 2 floors high frames. Just like this. Now I like to have kind of a half wall area. So I'll have these middle 3 ones on half walls. The rest will be just normal walls. Normal frames. Alright. Keep going up. Because this half floor difference will allow me to make the jump ups from between levels, from shooting floor to roof, from shooting floor to 1 floor down to give a little bit of an extra peak. Alright, before going further with the frames, just to make like guessing the level easier, just put 2 squares here, copy it on the other side, squares here. For these ones, these squares will be actually ramps, peaks, so you don't really need squares on these ones. But coming back to the frames. And on these corners with the multi-TC gaps out, just 2 triangles each. Don't need anything else. This gives you a multi-TC peak and a white gap peak, which I'll show you later. Just closing the roof off as well. Alright, going back to the frames. Floor. As you're walking around on here. These ones, since these are half wall different, you have a way up and a way down, kind of like this. So by mistake, that's fine. Close this off, turn it around, because now you're on your roof level. This will be a jump up onto your roof. You don't actually want to put a frame here, and I'll tell you why. A half wall and a window. This will allow you to peek inside the base. But normal windows, just a normal peek. Gonna complete it off with your frames coming up. Actually, you didn't really need these 3 half walls at the back. My bad. Just one normal frame. So you only want the half walls in the front 3. Go. Triangle. Triangle. Okay. This, just, you can attach the square into the middle. Doesn't really matter because you can't really use this white gap, so I just attach it over here since you can still use that one. Attach these 2, and you have a white gap shooting floor. For these triangles, you can have frames coming up from this triangle itself. Doesn't interfere with any of the white gap all the way up, and you can have another triangle here. Same goes for that one, but we'll get to that later. Okay, frames coming up. And one more triangle. Alright, moving on. You can have beds here. This will be your jump up to the roof. So what you basically want is kind of frames here. Since you still need to put your roof on top of the shooting floor, you need stability for that roof. Stability, that's it. There we go. Should be stable now. And you can close this off. Alright, there we go. Now you have another way onto your roof. You can make these windows, but I don't really like them. Actually, windows is better. You can peek the roof as well. And this way you can peek down as well. Okay, moving on. This is the one side done. Now for the next one. Same thing. You want to make it at least 2 floors high from the below. And just to provide stability in the corner. Okay, 2 floors high. So basically the outside and the inside edge is where you're placing frames. Now when this 2 floors up, add half walls on the first 3. That's all you need. And the window start. This would mean these still require frames. Again, the middle one would be a window to peek back into your base. There we go. More windows. This corner would be a triangle, a window and left triangle. Same goes for this one, triangle. Alright, this would be your shooting floor-ish. Close it off. Window, peek up, and door. Alright, you're gonna need frames again. So right now, before we get to the frames, you can put a square here and triangle inside. So these ones, I like to have ramp peaks. You can attach 2 triangles to your base. I'll do this eventually later. So to do the ramp peaks, you want to put 2 square floors, half wall, and you should be able to place half wall there. Yep. Whatever you need to make this square stable. once you do that, you can put a ramp here, and elevated ramp there. Now when you remove this floor, the ramp will stay. I have removed the frame as well. Alright. Now this will be your ramp peak. When you walk out from your shooting floor, you'll have a ramp peak completely open to use. And this will allow you to stay crouched close on the window as well. Same goes with this one. Normal ramp. Jump, drop down. Fall, floor. Floor. I'm showing you how to do it without the no clip on your hair. You can, this will be twig, so you can just shoot it out, but I'll just remove it. Now the two sides of your shooting floor are done. Let's just get the roof done as well. I'll show you how to cover up the multi-TC gap as well in a second. Make sure it's stable all around. That's the frame. Alright, these triangles you attach to the base, square you can attach to the front. Doesn't really matter, like nobody's stepping on it or anywhere, or like you're not placing anything on those anyways. But yeah, gotta close this roof as well. There we go. That's your two sides of your shooting floor done. To connect those two sides, actually, let's just, before we do that, let's just remove these triangles and attach them to the white gap anyways. Makes it look better, nothing else. To finish the multi-TC part, as you can see, this is a pretty big gap. What you do is, on one triangle, you will replace two frames. That's it. Now you place a double door. This will kind of be your sectioning off and your old school style peak. So you're peeking through your multi-TC and your white gap. You can do it on all four sides, like I'll show you on that one as well. On one triangle, you will replace two frames. Just like that. I'll quickly finish the other two shooting floor off. Alright, now that your shooting floor is done, you can finish the roof. I don't like roof peaks, like the normal traditional roof peaks, just because you have to expose your entire head and your body to peak. What I like to do are window peaks. Alright. Press the F instead of R. There we go. So all around, it's like windows. Alright, quickly just add doors here. My bad. There we go. So over here, I would just make it kind of like a turret pod-ish situation, because these two triangles you can just place them half full here, put turret pods. Up to you. These I would make them ramps. Put low walls on top of these. You can peek down and up. These you can just walk around, I guess, if you want. Floors, completely up to you if you want to peek down into it. These ones will be completely sealed off because, well, you have to be standing on top of these to make it any worthwhile peeking them, since you want to be peeking people close to your ground as well. Again, ramps. Or turret pods. Again, close this off. Alright, basically your roof is done now. You can spam turrets, you can make turret pods if you want, you can make turret pods exactly like the way on the other ones over here. But I don't like to make them since there already are turret pods there. And these cover pretty much everything, like the 8 turrets in these corners. You can put turrets on top of these, because you're going to be making your windmill towers over here. And you're going to be making like windmill towers in the middle as well. So that's pretty much the base done. Your custom gauge is completely preference based. What I like to do is have the PC honeycombed at least. So this would be honeycombed. And I like to have 2 entrances, just because, well, you have no idea how many times these gates have saved my raid. 2 ways out, windows to peek in and out from. Close this off. And this serves as a bedroom as well. You can place a locker and a bed. Section it off. You can extend it as well if you want. But it's up to you. But this definitely helps because you can close it off. So if this is all stone, you can upgrade this to metal. And this is 8 rocket rate at least. And if you put garage doors, armor doors in here as well. So yeah, pretty much it. You can close this up with walls, anyone. But yeah, enjoy the base.